Well, one player we hope to see back on the LPGA Tour in 2026 is 34-year-old Kim Kaufman. Kaufman played her college golf at Texas Tech. She turned pro in June of 2013 and spent her rookie season on the Epson Tour before joining the LPGA in 2014. Last year, she finished 16th on the Epson Tour points list and was set to participate in LPGA Q-School in hopes of regaining status. But the week after the Tour Championship, she was diagnosed with stage 2B breast cancer. She underwent a lumpectomy and soon after began radiation and chemotherapy. Well, today we are so pleased to share that Kim Kaufman is cancer-free and is headed to the final stage of LPGA Q-School in December, exactly 1 year to the day of her cancer diagnosis. And it is great to welcome Kim Kaufman to the show. It's wonderful to see you. First of all, how are you doing physically, mentally, and emotionally 1 year after learning of your diagnosis?
I'm doing great. I guess I've been asked a lot, how you feel, and honestly, I feel 100%. I've been playing. I play Q-School. I'm out here practicing every day in the gym, so physically I feel great, and mentally and emotionally, honestly, I probably feel better than ever. You have such a different outlook on life, on Q-School, on golf, when you go through something like cancer, so honestly, coming out on the other side, I'm probably better for it.
I read a story where you said you might have had too much time to prepare for Q-School this year, given everything you've been through. But I know it's a bit of a cliche, but how has golf helped over the last 12 months?
Yeah, I've said it a few times. There's a lot of things I feel like are cliche, and then you go through it, and you're like, oh, maybe that wasn't so cliche, really. So it helped me from the start. Just a lot of the mental training I had done for golf, I started to apply to cancer. I started to apply, we love to think all the negatives, but I'm also like, but I also might go today and get good news. And there was days you did go get good news. So a lot of concepts I worked on for golf, I applied to cancer. And, you meet a lot of other people that have cancer when you go through it. And I knew a few times I thought, gosh, I wish I could help this woman. But I was happy that I had the training I had just to help myself.
Kim, I'm curious on that note. My sister had cancer. Thankfully, she's cancer-free. She said she sometimes felt feelings of guilt. How much is that a part of the journey as well, knowing that there are so many people affected by this disease and not everyone has a positive outcome?
Yeah, I felt, you do feel guilt. You feel guilt for a couple of reasons. Sometimes you feel guilt because everyone just wants to help and do things. And even now, and I'm like, I'm good. And you almost how do you thank people enough? How do you say thank you? Or how do you say, I got this? Because everyone wants to help, and it's so nice, but you just don't know if you can ever return the favor. And then also, yes, you feel guilt because not everyone comes out. Even people that are cancer-free, some people aren't doing as well. Maybe they're struggling with neuropathy or other side effects that linger. And I've been really fortunate, honestly, to be at 100% here. So, you are a community, and there's a lot of strength in that. But I do know I was lucky, and you do feel a little bit of guilt at that.
I can imagine there was doubt over the last year. What were your emotions like when you showed up and teed it up at second stage this year?
I told a few people because 2 years prior, I went to second stage, and I looked at my husband and I said, I'm not coming back here again. If I don't finish top 35 at Epson to go straight to final, clearly I'm not ready. I'm not coming back here again. And then this year, obviously, that was really the only thing I could play. And I said, I should not be so excited to be at second stage, but I'm really excited to be here. So you just never say never. There I was. So I felt super excited to play. And I also just felt much more relaxed in a way of if I don't make it, it's totally okay. I'll go to Epson next year, and we'll, I always say good golf takes care of everything. So I just had a very different, I don't want to say stress-free, but my nerves were less. I felt different. I handled it different. And, we got through. So obviously a good thing.
If I was ever in trouble and in a foxhole, I would want Angela Stanford with me. How would you describe your friendship with her? I know she was your cold cap person as well and really went through some tough days and nights with you.
Yeah, Angela was one of the first people I knew I wanted to tell as a close friend, but also because her mom had gone through it, and I really didn't have any experience. My mom had not gone through it, and my aunt went through it, and she helped me a lot, but I wasn't living there. I didn't. If you don't live in the house with someone who's done it, you really just don't get it. So she was, from the start, the day I told her, she actually went with me to my surgeon, just because she knew. She's like, Kim, you need a second set of eyes and ears there. She did all of my chemo days. You know, those were 9-hour days, but we went into that chemo room and we had a good time. Talk about feeling guilty. Like, we would hear other people who were so sick, and I didn't have any nausea. I wasn't like physically ill. I had plenty of other symptoms, but you felt guilty for that. You know, we were in there having a pretty good time, and we're like, okay, maybe we shouldn't be so loud. Maybe we shouldn't be, you know, laughing. But at the end of the day, the chemo room is actually a pretty light spot. But she was awesome. Like you say, there was nothing I couldn't have asked her that she wouldn't have done. She cleared her schedule whenever I needed it. And she just got it because of her mom. She just understood. You said, you know, other people want to help, and sometimes they just don't get it, which is not their fault. I hope no one gets it. It means you didn't go through it, but she did, and I couldn't have asked for a better person to be there.
Now, this feels like a bit of a pay-it-forward moment. You worked with the Epson Tour and Hartford Healthcare to provide free cancer screenings. How rewarding to have the opportunity to do that for you?
That was awesome. You know, it's not something you ask someone until you don't say, hey, like, do you go to the doctor? But now I do. I have no shame. I'll ask any woman, any friend of mine, like, are you going? If you haven't, like, make your appointment. So it just couldn't have worked out better. Like you say, we had a tournament that was sponsored by a hospital, and they were all in. And I went up there and I learned that a lot of my friends had never been to the doctor. They had never had a breast exam. And we did that for anyone who wanted it. And it was really popular. It was well used. And I hope it's something that we do every year. Like you say, it's not a one and done. You need to do it every year. So hopefully on the Epson and on the LPGA, we can do that. And I will push that as much as I can.
Kim, a lot of players on the Epson Tour are struggling to make ends meet. They don't make the money that players do on the LPGA. How shocked were you, surprised that so many players on that tour stretched themselves to help you and to help the cause as a whole?
Yeah, you know, that's the people don't want to talk about money, but the truth of it was, you know, I know what they make, and those are the girls that gave so much. It just tells you a lot about who they are and how they, you know, rallied around me. And it was quite similar to several years ago, my caddy broke both of her wrists. She fell down the stairs, and she was in Canada, and I did a little GoFundMe, and it was overwhelming to do that. But the people that donated most were other caddies. And it reminded me of that. I thought, the ones you would think maybe have the least, but they give the most. And it's just a testament to, you know, the girls and the kind of girls that are out there. So I wouldn't have wanted to be in any other place, honestly. They were the best team, the best support. They, not even just money, but they sent me things and gifts and all throughout. Like, you know, everyone sends you things right away, and they did it, like, honestly, over 7 months. So, you know, when you're going through chemo and you get a little something in the mail, it kind of just lifts your spirits a bit. You know, everyone loves to get a little something, a little gift in the mail for a surprise. So, and they did that, and they were awesome.
Now, you were given the Heather Wilbur Spirit Award this year on the Epson Tour. What did that mean to you?
It was cool. You know, it's something we've given out to a lot of great girls, and to be on that list was fun. And, you know, sometimes it's weird. You're like, gosh, like, obviously I went through cancer and I fought it. And sometimes it's almost a little weird to get an award for it, but then you're like, no, I do get it. Like, you do. I think it's, you know, being able to come back and play. Girls are like, gosh, I can't believe you're back here. But I think if any of those girls are in the situation, you come back so ready and so motivated, that I have worked harder. I've worked harder in the gym. Like, honestly, like, there's a lot of silver linings in having cancer. And one of them was that I think it, like, re-motivated me and re-inspired me to come back to golf and get back to the LPGA Tour.
Kim, your story is so powerful and inspirational. I know a lot of people will be pulling for you in Alabama final stage in December. Thank you for sharing your story and for your time today.
Thank you, guys.
Folks, a reminder, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And as we go to break, I want to shed some light on the work our colleague Morgan Pressel is doing with the Morgan Pressel Foundation. In all, the foundation has raised nearly $14 million to support breast cancer diagnosis, treatment, and research. In partnership with Lola Blankets, $65,000 was raised for the Morgan Pressel Foundation last October alone. And this year, 100% of the proceeds from Pink Check blanket purchases throughout October will again benefit the foundation.